The invisible leak. How small expenses drain your wallet. Imagine this. You've just received your paycheck. You feel secure, confident, maybe even a little generous. You buy a coffee on your way to work, grab lunch from your favorite spot, order a couple of small items online, and by the end of the week, you're wondering, where did all my money go? This isn't a one-time story. It's a cycle many people live in without even realizing it. Small expenses. Harmless, right? A few dollars here, a couple of subscriptions there, and somehow, your bank account feels emptier than it should. These aren't big, flashy purchases that make you pause. They're stealthy, quiet, and consistent. And that's what makes them so dangerous. Today, we're diving into the world of micro-spending, the tiny leaks in your financial boat that could be sinking your wealth. We'll explore how they work, why they happen, and most importantly, how you can take back control before the drip becomes a flood. Death by 1,000 cuts. Understanding micro-spending habits. There's an old saying, it's not the mountain ahead that wears you out, it's the pebble in your shoe. In financial terms, it's not always the big purchases that break your budget, but the small, repetitive ones you don't track. This phenomenon is called death by 1,000 cuts. Let's break it down. Imagine spending $5 a day on coffee. That's $150 a month. Add a couple of $10 subscriptions you don't use regularly. That's another $20. Then, there are those delivery service fees, $3 here, $4 there, and by the end of the month, it's easily another $50 gone. Before you know it, you've spent over $200 on things that felt insignificant at the time. Microspending often feels justified. It's just a coffee. I deserve a treat. It's only a few bucks. But when you zoom out, these justifications become a pattern, and that pattern becomes a habit. One that eats away at your savings, investment potential, and peace of mind. And it's not just about the money spent. It's about the opportunities lost. What could $200 a month do if invested or saved over a year? Over 5 years? We're not talking about deprivation. We're talking about awareness and making your money work for you instead of slipping through your fingers. Coffee, subscriptions, and hidden fees, the silent killers. Let's name names, because the biggest culprits in the war on your wallet are the ones you see daily and never question. First up, coffee. It's the classic example, but for good reason. That $4 latte doesn't seem like much until it becomes a daily ritual. Multiply it by 20 working days. That's $80 a month. Now imagine you brewed your own coffee for 50 cents per cup. That's a saving of over $60 a month. Next, subscriptions. Streaming services, apps, fitness memberships, cloud storage. We live in a subscription economy. Many of us sign up, forget, and auto-pay month after month. Some studies show that the average person underestimates their subscription costs by 200%. Cancel what you don't use. It's money back in your pocket instantly. And don't forget hidden fees, delivery charges, service fees, ATM withdrawal fees, credit card interest, and even those free trials that become paid without notice. These silent killers are small enough to ignore, but frequent enough to matter. Here's the truth. These expenses feel convenient, and they often are. But the cost of convenience, when unchecked, becomes the enemy of financial freedom. The psychology of small spending. Why your brain ignores it. Why do we ignore small expenses? Why does our brain treat a $5 coffee as a necessity, but panic over a $100 investment? It all comes down to mental accounting, a concept in behavioral economics where we treat money differently based on its source, size, or purpose. Small amounts feel less important, less threatening, and our brain doesn't trigger the same risk analysis it does for larger purchases. There's also the pain of paying. Studies show that the physical act of spending money can cause discomfort. But with tap-to-pay, one-click purchases, and auto-pay systems, we've removed that pain entirely. Spending has never been easier or more unconscious. Add to that reward psychology. Small purchases often come with instant gratification. A treat, a dopamine hit, a feeling of control in a busy day. This creates a feedback loop. Spend small, feel good, repeat. To break the cycle, you need to rewire how you see small expenses, not as harmless treats, but as part of a bigger financial picture. Awareness is the first step. Intentionality is the second. Tracking the untrackable, smart tools to monitor every penny. So how do you fight back? Start by tracking, but not manually. Leverage the power of technology. Apps like Mint, Enab, You Need a Budget, Pocket Guard, and even Excel templates can help you see where every dollar goes. The key is automation. Get real-time updates, categorize expenses, and set spending limits. Use alerts for small purchases. If your card is used for amounts under $10, get a notification. It may seem overkill, but it's a way to stay conscious of patterns. Create a micro-budget. Allocate a set amount for small indulgences. Once it's gone, it's gone. This shifts your mindset from unlimited spending to intentional spending. And don't underestimate the power of review. Sit down weekly or monthly and audit your small expenses. Ask yourself, was this necessary? Did it bring value? Can I cut it? Over time, tracking becomes second nature, and spending becomes a deliberate act, not a reflex. Turning the tables. How to control and redirect small expenses. Now that you've tracked your spending, what's next? Control and redirect. First, cut the waste. Cancel unused subscriptions, limit dining out, and opt for lower-cost alternatives. Second, replace habits. Brew coffee at home, meal prep, walk instead of drive. Small changes compound. Third, redirect the savings. Every $5 you save should have a purpose. Create a micro-savings account. Automate it. Let those small amounts grow into emergency funds, investments, or debt payments. Example, save $150 monthly by cutting small expenses. Invest it with 8% annual return. In 10 years, over $27,000. Finally, reward progress. Treat yourself, but with intention. Spend on what truly matters, not on fleeting comforts. Final thoughts. Big wealth starts with small savings. Here's the truth. Wealth isn't built overnight, and it's not only for those with high incomes. It's built brick by brick, dollar by dollar. By mastering small expenses, you're taking control of your money, your future, and your freedom. It's not about being cheap. It's about being smart. It's not about never spending. It's about spending with purpose. So next time you swipe that card or hit order now, pause, think, choose. Because your future wealth starts with today's small decisions. Take control. Redirect. Build the life you want, one smart choice at a time.